Hello everybody, I'm Jennifer Seeger and welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog is just another quiet evening at home, and I always love coming home and seeing our little puppy Ruby. She is so excited to greet us and always needs to go out and potty right away. So we got home and we're going through our routine. As we get started here, please click that like and subscribe button below. I would really appreciate it. Don't want to miss the rest of Vlogmas coming to the channel. This is Vlogmas day 11. So it is crazy how fast this whole month is flying by. We have to bribe our dog too to get in off the front yard. I always have to offer a treat. In this case, it was dinner. So we had some yummy dinner. This is how hilarious our dog Ruby is with her food. We put the dry kibble in the bowl and she backs away like, no, I'm not eating that. She's so spoiled, we have to doctor it up. So we use these different Revera, I'm saying that completely wrong, puppy foods. Isn't this appetizing? It looks so delicious, but we kind of mix it up like a gravy and get her kibble in there, and then she'll just go to town. One of my favorite things about coming home is the mail. At Christmas time, not only do we get Christmas cards, but the LL Bean catalog. And what is it about this? Leave me a comment below if you're also obsessed. I never order anything, but I love looking. Then I got my essential oil going. This is the Bose Signature Candle Company Christmas scent. And had a candle that we just got as a housewarming gift that I thought I would try lighting, but there's a little design flaw in it with the edging starting on fire, but we got it under control. And I just love having candles lit. I feel like I'm on a mission to make the house comfortable and cozy, so I'm closing all the blinds and getting all the lights turned on when I get home, just so we can enjoy all that the cozy Christmas lights have to offer and enjoy our evenings at home. I finally had gotten the lights on the balcony, or the banister, I should say. And once Ruby's fed and kind of the house is set, before I'm putting on my comfy clothes, it is time for us to go on a walk. We recently moved to a new home and we're so excited to be by some trails. And so we bundle Ruby up and we have, I don't even know the distance, but it's about a 20-minute loop. Behind our house, we have a little pond in our backyard and there's a trail that hugs it. So we start out and get to enjoy our Christmas lights. I don't think I've shown you this yet, where we put up, or I should say Nate put up, a little Frosty the Snowman, and then these snowflake projections are actually from our wedding. How many times do I say that something is from our wedding on this channel? But it's true. Ruby always likes to get down by the pond. In the summer, we can see the beavers. Nothing going on in winter, but she loves the smells down there. And then it's always fun to see if anybody has decorated for Christmas along the way. Not too many people have. But it's just so pretty to be out on the trails and enjoying the night. It wasn't too cold. And then there's the front of our house all decorated, some candles in the window and lights up on the roof. And just love coming home to all of that. But it was time to warm up when we got in. It was a little chilly outside. So Ruby gets her day 11 treat. And then it's time for me to dig into my advent calendar from Nespresso and look at what day 11 is. And I'm always hoping that it's not decaffeinated. I don't know why they put some. I'm all about the caffeine. But today's flavor is vanilla custard. And I needed a little pick-me-up because I'm feeling so tired this evening for some reason. And yes, that's me letting the coffee go without a cup underneath. Leave me a comment below if you've done this. I think we've all done this. In my case, I think it's why they invented the drip catcher below. So when my coffee's going, I got in my comfy, cozy clothes, just made myself a little vanilla latte, added a little vanilla syrup, and then I needed to take some time and do some video editing, because truth about Vlogmas is there is never a day that is free from filming or video editing. So I always get the fire going. I like editing downstairs so I can turn on YouTube ambience channels. And if you're not familiar with these, they play just a pretty scene and a music in the background. Tonight I was trying Harry Potter and just spending about an hour getting video editing done before it was time to go up and make dinner. And Nate is working late tonight, so it is just dinner for one. I wanted to keep it simple, and I love, love, love having Lavosh, which is an Armenian, I believe, or at least Middle Eastern bread, or it's a big cracker. We can't get them anymore from the store near us. Nate actually talked to the manager. They quit carrying them. So I had my niece pick some up at the grocery store in North Dakota and bring them back. They didn't travel well, so I have a broken cracker here, but that's okay because it's just me. I didn't want to make the whole thing anyway. And you just layer on cheese and any toppings that you want. We get the sliced Havarti from Costco, but you can buy different flavored Havartis in the deli section of your grocer. Like they have dill in different varieties, and you just put it in for about 5 minutes at 350. And while that was baking, I wanted to get my little mocktail ready. I have been obsessed lately with apple propellants, and I do a varied version of what they serve at the Edison in Disney Springs. Theirs has honey, and I've just never dealt with it because that feels like a mess. But I'm just adding some apple cider with maybe a couple tablespoons of lemon juice and topping it off with ginger ale. It is so refreshing and delicious. I just love having a little mocktail in the evenings. And to relax tonight, I wanted to pick out a movie that Nate would never in a million years watch. So I'm late to the party and watching Nutcracker and the Four Realms and getting all that going. 5 minutes later, my Lavosh is cheese bubbly and ready to eat. It looks so good. I love how gooey the Havarti cheese gets because it's such a soft, gooey cheese. And I just we'll cut it into squares so it's like a cracker with melted cheese on top. I just went for some big pieces. And yes, I will eat the whole half because it is really, really good. And you'd be surprised, it's just a thin cracker, how much you can eat. But one of my favorite meals. And sometimes I'll top it with peppers or, you can just put anything on top. Tonight I was just being simple. It didn't stop Ruby from begging for it. We didn't train our dog not to beg. Quite the contrary. She's always in our faces wanting a bite. And we don't give it to her too often. But she does get to lick the dishwasher. So afterwards, as I'm cleaning up, Ruby is always there to help. Does anybody else feel like there's just so many things that can't go in the dishwasher between all of the bottles, my fry pan, and even the cookie sheets? I don't know. I just feel like I'm always doing dishes by hand. And I don't mind it, I guess, but gosh, I wish they made like a different dishwasher that could handle all the things that you have to wash. Even our spatulas never come clean in the dishwasher, so I'm always doing those by hand. But once I was all cleaned up, I still had a little time before Nate got home, and I thought it was a good opportunity to wrap some of our Christmas gifts. So I'd gotten some boxes at the Container Store when I was shopping for stocking stuffers. So really had all of the, I want to say ingredients, but that's not the right word, supplies. I had all the supplies ready to go and get wrapped up for Christmas. I really love picking up boxes at the Container Store because they are cute uniform sizes and you can get a variety, and it's just easier to work with those. I also get the bigger kind of shipping boxes for some things that I'm not going to ship, but are maybe too big or awkward to fit in a package. And I always like to tape them up with the clear packing tape on the bottom because you need it to be sturdy, of course. But then on the top, where somebody needs to open it, I hate when we're opening gifts and everybody's like, I need a scissors or I need a knife or something. So I have this decorative tape, and this is the last year I'm using it. I picked it up so many years ago, but I think it's the Duck brand that makes the silver tape or whatever they call it, duct tape. There we go. That's what I got for Christmas one year. And I like to do that decorative tape on the top because it looks so cute, but also you can fold it under and just make a little tab. So when somebody's opening their gift, they don't have to worry about cutting it. You have this little pull tab that they can just pull up and get right into their gift. So I think that is such a good idea to not have to worry about a scissors or anything like that, because how often does that happen really, that we can't handle the wrapping? It happens to us all. Another go-to that I have when wrapping gifts is I picked these up years ago, and if I can find them, I will link it below, but it's this Scotch kind of wrapping paper cutter. I don't even know what they're called, but you just slide it through and it makes it so easy, especially when you're not wrapping on a table, because I have no idea why, but I'm never wrapping gifts on a table. So it's just easy to slide through. The other thing, I always look for wrapping papers that have the grid on it. So when I am cutting things to size, I can easily see, just count the number of squares that I need and be able to run this little tool along the line, and it just works slick. I really like it. Every time I am wrapping gifts, I think of the line from The Office where Pam is telling Roy, if you're using more than 3 pieces of tape to wrap a gift, you're doing it wrong. I'm just like, okay, Pam, I'm doing it wrong, like constantly, because I think I use like 10 pieces of tape. I can never get the paper to stay exactly where I want it or wrap it tight enough, and I always want sharp creases and corners and things, so I use tape all over the place to get a gift wrap. So what camp do you fall in? Is Pam right? Is it 3 pieces of tape? Or is it more? Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. The one thing I'm doing this year too is we have so many different gifts that are we have some gifts going to one family Christmas, others going to another family Christmas, plus Nate and I'll have a Christmas, that I'm trying to coordinate my wrapping paper. So I'm just using specific wrapping paper on gifts that are going to the Seeger side. I have gifts that are going to my side of the family that will use a different paper, and we are lucky enough to have 2 trees. So I'm going to try to keep things organized, because there always seems to be a scramble where right before we're leaving, I'm like, did we get everything that goes? So I'm hoping to make it simple on myself and be like, everything wrapped in this paper goes to this household. Boom, go. The other thing that is hard to know is how thick the wrapping paper is going to be. And I'm always so particular about that, because I feel like unless it's a higher quality, thicker paper, you're never going to get a good crease. Or sometimes when I'm just sliding the boxes on the paper, it will rip, which frustrates me to no end, but probably has a lot to do that I'm wrapping on the carpet too. I really should find a hard surface to be wrapping and getting everything together, because this one did rip on the edge for me just a little bit. And I am an epically slow gift wrapper. I have never been good at it or coordinated. That's probably why I use so many pieces of tape. But that said, even though it takes me forever, I do enjoy doing it, and I also prefer a gift wrap box over a gift bag any day, because I feel like there's just more. Well, first of all, I like the way they look under the tree better, all the different packages wrapped, and I like doing bows and things. The gift bags, I think, are handy when you have to take the gift somewhere and you're giving it to someone on the go. Like if I'm meeting a friend and just going to bring them their gift, then it's easier to do a gift bag. But if we're sitting in front of the tree opening presents, I want to be ripping into packages. I just love that. In our family, my dad would always just say, go. And when the kids were little, like all my nieces and nephews, and the wrapping paper would fly, and it would be like 30 seconds of chaos and parents trying to figure out what in the world their child got for Christmas. And I know some people do it more organized, and we do now that the kids are older, but that was just super funny to me when they were growing up. Don't I have such a good helper in Ruby? Ruby, do you want to wear bows? Maybe she's not such a great helper. If you watched some of my last videos, I was showing some of the bows that I picked up. I got these particular ones at Hobby Lobby, and they were 50% off, so it was $2.50 for, I think, 3 bows on a card, and just one bow fills up the top of the present so much. It's amazing. This other plaid paper that I had is some of the variety that I was talking about, that it's so thin, it was ripping just when I was trying to cut it. So I can't remember where I picked this up, but I don't know if this roll is going to make it for the long haul or if I'll do any other presents in it. This is one that I am wrapping to stay at home. It is for Nate from Ruby. Not going to tell you what it is because I didn't tell Nate expressly that he could not watch this video, like the stocking stuffer video, which is, he is forbidden to watch that. I told him he would ruin Christmas. So the other thing that I like to do, and this is one of the boxes I picked up at the Container Store, is just tape inside. I don't know about you, but I can't ever get the boxes, especially the bottom one, to sit flat so I can get the gift inside. So I like to tape that closed The top lid will usually fit over it just fine, but I feel like you need a little bit more structure to get the gift in there properly. I like these little square boxes too. And of course, I had to use some of my new paper. So if you recall, I got this paper at the Container Store and I'm just simply obsessed with it. I think it's so cute. I don't know why. I'd said before, every time I'm looking at it, it reminds me of the Nutcracker. And it's probably fitting that I'm watching the Nutcracker right now. Although I have to say, Nutcracker in the Four Realms, I'm glad it's something that's on in the background. I don't know if I would want to sit down and watch it proper, but I'm listening to it and it's okay. I don't think it did very well when it came out. I had picked up these little gift tags too, which were super cute, so I was getting those done. And one tip that I want to share with you, I save toilet paper rolls all the time. You would not believe how handy they come in for fire starters and different craft projects, and I really like using them for wrapping paper to keep it all from unspooling or unraveling. So whenever I open a new roll, I will cut the toilet paper roll and just put it over like a little cuff, and then it keeps it all secure. And I just keep mine stored upright in a bin, but if you can put the toilet paper roll over the seam, then you're golden. So one of the things I have to wrap while Nate is out of the house is a particularly huge box. So I always like to pick out the wrapping paper that is a little bit longer to work with. In this case, I probably could have gotten by with the Rocking Horse wrapping paper, but I went with the longer tube of it so I had plenty of room to cover up the ends, because I hate when I'm wrapping and I've mismeasured and there's just a little bit of box showing when you try to do the end and fold that in. So Ruby, my little helper, and I got this last gift box done, and it was so huge. I wish I had gotten a huge bow, but I did a little cluster of them together. And the last thing to do is to get all of the gifts under the tree. However, Nate and my nephew Samuel, that was over the other night, put up the train, so I don't know where these gifts are going to go, but at least we've got some wrapping done. I hope you enjoyed following along with me this evening and hanging out for just a quiet evening at home. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Really love having you here for Vlogmas Day 11, and I will see you tomorrow, everybody.